What's up, my people? This is your boy, the lyrical genius, Black Titanium, the host of today's show, your favorite show, of course, The Homeless Empire. And today's topic is on how black people have been consumed in the realm of the seven deadly sins. Now, a lot of us don't understand what the seven deadly sins are. So, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start from 1 through 7, and I'm going to tell you how we are affected by the seven deadly sins. And a lot of the times, we are not even aware of the seven deadly sins because in a society such as this society, we are taught to accept those sins as the norm. So I want to go into it, and sin number 1, which is pride. Pride is something that people take pride in having. Because we've been taught that you should have pride, and we should have pride, and we should move off that pride. But pride is actually one of the seven deadly sins. We can have so much pride that our children could be starving, and we refuse to ask anybody for anything because we don't want them saying we asked them for something. We don't want them talking about us. So we say, man, no, I got pride. I got my pride. I'm not asking nobody for nothing. And this could, the reason why this is one of the seven deadly sins is because pride is something that can, have your children starving to death. It can actually deprive your kids of their opportunities in life. It can deny you of opportunities in life. So pride is definitely one of the seven deadly sins. And it should actually always be thought about. We should always try to concentrate on keeping that in the forefront of our conscience. Because a lot of the times we just move through our daily lives not realizing our actions. And the ironic part about that is, like I said before, we actually take pride in having pride because we were taught that we should have pride. But what we don't understand is that we were taught by evil people. A lot of people look up to those who teach them to have pride and thinking that this is the right thing to do. So you should actually know why pride is one of the seven deadly sins. So we're going to move on to sin number 2, deadly sin number 2. Greed. Greed is definitely one of the most deadliest sins out of the seven deadly sins. Many people have become so greedy that they have become, greed can cause you to become selfish, which many people have become. They live by the policy that self-preservation is the best preservation. And anytime you give them something, anytime they get something, they want more. So they actually get consumed in their greed, and it causes them to become self-centered. It causes them to become selfish. It causes them to become evil, scheming, and conniving. This is what greed does to people, and a lot of black people have that problem. We have that problem so bad because when our people get threatened by poverty, and they see the opportunity to get money, they will do anything for that money. Now, I'm not knocking nobody for having a job. I'm not knocking nobody for having to hustle to get their money, because I know what the struggle is like. I'm black. A lot of my people are black. But there are certain boundaries that we have to learn not to cross when it comes to making money. There are certain boundaries that we have to learn not to cross when it comes to selling our people out for money. Because this is what greed does. It actually turns a nation of people into savages. And in all reality, they ain't doing nothing but killing their souls, torching their souls. Not realizing that the people who are giving you this money are giving it with their right and they're taking it back with their left. No, but we live in this society where people are assessed by the material things that they accumulate and the money that how much money they accumulate. So this causes people to be greedy, especially women. African women, black women, all women are greedy. So you can give a woman the world, and you can give a woman $1 million today. And if she asks you for another $1 million tomorrow and you say no, she will be ready to cut your head off. So ungrateful. And this is what greed does. Greed has many women and many men making decisions according to being ruled by their women, saying, I need this, I need more. And they got these niggas out here running crazy because of a money hungry, money grubbing, greedy ass person. So that's basically one of the deadliest sins that you ever want to know out of the 7 deadly sins. Sin number 3, lust. Wow. Now, this is a problem that we all have, because we've been brought up in a society of the Roman Empire, where they created all of this, and they've indoctrinated us to lust at one another. Lust with whether it be lusting with our eyes, lusting with our hearts, lusting, physically. Basically, we live in a society where we are taught to lust. And the first thing when we look at a woman, when a black man looks at a woman, when a man looks at a woman in today's society, the first thing we look at is the woman's vagina, her butt, and her breast. And if her body is banging, we don't even see her face. But what we don't realize, we've been taught to think that this is cool. No, you only being the man. As a matter of fact, they play the psychological game on people. If you don't lust, somebody say, yo, look at that girl right there, man, she got a fat ass, or she got a nice body, and you don't look, or you don't or you don't approach a girl, you don't approach the way they want you to, they'll label. You got a lot of people that will actually label you a homosexual because you don't want to lust. This is how sick people are in society today. This is why they say lusting is one of the 7 deadly sins. Because whether you lusting with your eyes or lusting physically or with your heart, basically, you're basically having sex in your mind, and And this is, we've been taught in this society that, yo, that's cool. That makes, you got people who actually, look at their little, like they have children and they'll look at their little sons like, yeah, that's my boy. He went, he tried to get at that little girl right there. Huh? Yeah, I've seen a lot of black people do that. They look at their son and the son go over there and they try to encourage him to talk to the little girl. Now these are kids that's like 4 and 5 years old. But this is how sick people are in society today. And when the boy go over there and talk to the girl, and he be like, yeah, that's my boy right there, baby. That's my boy. Sick in the mind. And this is what sets the child off into being a sex addict. This is how the child gets indoctrinated into being a sex addict. Instead of, guiding the child, into being, excuse me, I had to pause because you got the agents, but into being, instead of guiding the child right, they're leading their children astray because they have lustful hearts. We live in a society where many men are sex addicts. And this is why the women are coming up, because now men are being exposed as being rapists, like Harvey Weinstein and all of these sex addict ass niggas. Now they got that Me Too movement going on. Women are coming up off of that. And a lot of them, I would say about 75% of them women are really telling the truth. They know 75% of the women in society is being raped, molested, and all that other stuff. Because men are now sex addicts through lust. Yeah. But that's a whole nother, that's a whole deep topic. I could be here all day talking about that. But I just want to let you know that we are going to be questioned on the day of judgment about either lusting with our eyes. I mean, I can't even help it. When I look at a girl, the first thing I look at is her butt. I can't even help it because that's the society that we, but I don't step beyond boundaries. I always I got enough, and I'm blessed enough to catch myself. Because when you got a God conscience, God will tug at your soul and be like, yo. So you gotta slide back and catch yourself and check yourself. But that's just a little food for thought. That's deadly sin number 3. Deadly sin number 4, envy. Wow. This is one of the biggest problems in today's society. Is people who are who envy others. For example, here I am, a man with nothing, right? Not a pot to piss in. Now I've had people who got money, they got cars, they got jobs, all of this. But yet, when they see me, with all ego trips aside, they get jealous and envious. Because there's more than one ways to be rich. We can be rich monetarily and with money, or we can be rich in knowledge. We can have beautiful strengths and qualities that money can't buy. And a lot of people who possess money and all the materialistic things, they can't gain them type of strengths and qualities of that a righteous man might have. So they see that and it eats at their soul. Because when a lot of our people are dealing with self-hatred, basically when they see somebody that look like them, that got better strengths and better qualities, then your positive reminds them of their negatives. So they become envious and jealous, and it's like a rage turns the fire on inside of him. And these are people who have an abundance of money and materialistic things. but they are still not happy because they can't gain the righteous things in life. Because in order to gain what I have, they have to relinquish what they have. And this is why envy is one of the 7 deadly sins, is because it can eat a person from the inside out. They get so jealous that they'll do anything to see you to your downfall. But why they think that they're hurting you, they're really hurting themselves. But a lot of people, they live for the sake of the moment. They don't care about longevity and the future or none of that. They care about the here and the now. So when like I said, when they see a person who possesses those type of qualities, the qualities of the righteous, it causes them to get jealous and envious. And that's why they say envy is one of the 7 deadly sins. And I could go deep and deep about that, but I just want to, run through this for y'all because I want y'all to have a little food for thought. And sometimes, a lot of the times, we have to be conscious of these things. You can't, a lot of us already know about these things, but, there's so many distractions in life that it causes us to forget. And when we keep performing these acts, it becomes a habit. And when you form habits, habits become part of your DNA. This is what we have to understand. Whether it's a bad habit or a good habit, it becomes part of your DNA. And when you have sex with a woman and you drop your sperm off in her, your seed, and you have children, that DNA is passed down to your children. And they are born with those same traits. So this is why you have to be conscious of the 7 deadly sins. Number 5, gluttony. Yes, gluttony. People who are so damn like just over greed. They don't want nobody to have nothing. They want everything. You ever seen a person like that? The people who run this world, they're like that. 1% of the world owns 99% of the wealth. Not 99% owning 1%, but 1% owns 99% of the wealth. These are people who are gluttons. And then you have a lot of people in society who are gluttons. Now you could be a glutton from eating, your eating habits, that's what they call eating disorders, where you just eat. A lot of people don't even be hungry. They just eat. Every store they go by, every corner store they go by, they gotta go inside. Yeah, it's gluttony. And this is why it's one of the 7 deadly sins. That's sin number 5. Sin number 6. Sloth. Now, what a lot of people might not know what sloth means, but it means laziness. Now, even though many different cultures may think that black people have this problem, and a lot of us do, including myself, we procrastinate a lot and we become lazy because once we moved into the digital world, from the analog to the digital world, it causes us to be lazy in the mind. So when you become lazy in the mind, you become lazy physically. When everything is at your fingertips, and all you gotta do is press a button, you become lazy. And this is why sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins. This is why we have to get up and go to work or whatever, because that can be our downfall. And a lot of the times it has been mine. So everyone, don't think that I'm just talking to you, because a lot of the times when I talk to people, I go back to my own video and I watch it myself as if somebody else is talking, because I'm really talking to myself too. So you got to be aware of sloth, laziness, procrastinating. Okay? So, and deadly sin number 7, wrath, revenge. This is like the second most deadly sin that we have. Soon as somebody do something to us, no, it is imperative. In our neighborhoods, in the black community, in the minds of the black people, if somebody do something to you, it's imperative that that person must take revenge, and that's a bad thing. This is why revenge is one of the 7 deadly sins. A wise man once told me, he said, when somebody do something to you, there's no need for revenge. All you have to do is sit back and wait. And guess what? That person will do themselves dirty. And if you're blessed enough, God will let you watch. Understand me. A lot of the times, so when somebody says something to us, it don't even have to be nothing physical. It could just be something verbally. You could say something especially in today's society, due to the fact that a lot of these men out here got women tendencies, and they basically, when you say something to them, soon as you say something about verbally about them or to them, they thinking about revenge, not knowing that this tortures your soul, because you're letting the people that you encounter turn you into them. So you could end up killing somebody or whatever. That's a sin on your soul because you chose to be revengeful. And a lot of people, I know that a lot of people look at me and say, man, why you ain't going to get revenge, da 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 da. No, but I know that these are people who are not educated. See, when the righteous and the wise and the academically smart is more, they think more rational. So they go deep in the depth of a situation, the cause and effects of a situation. And this is what we must do before we think about taking revenge. Everything don't have to have revenge attached to it. But with that being said, I just wanted to explain the 7 deadly sins because this is affecting the black community in a major way. These sins are affecting us to the point where our children are being affected by them. You got to understand that. I want y'all to go online. You don't have to believe me. Just go online, Google the 7 deadly sins, read up. Read up on it, man. And think about your actions. This is why a lot of the time I take myself, my talking, and I think about my actions. Because a lot of the times we have to reflect, and this is why our brothers and sisters have to be our brothers and sisters. But and this is in our community, we don't do this. Soon as somebody say something like this to us, man, that nigga think he know every motherfucking thing, man. I'm tired of this bitch ass nigga. I don't like that nigga, man. He think he know everything. Because these are people who dealing with self-hatred. And like I said, your positives reminds them of their negatives. So whenever they see somebody who got intelligence, it crawls up their skin. Especially when white people know that you got intelligence. They can't stand that. You could dance better than them. You could sing better than them. You could do everything better than them. But when they know that you got intelligence, they are out to target you all day long because of because of them being pathological people. And this is why I say that we can't be like that. There's only 2 things that's going to happen when you encounter a person or a people. You're going to become like that people, or they're going to become like you. Or y'all going to walk away from each other and they're going to remain them and you're going to remain you. So we have to be conscious of the 7 deadly sins, man. And with that being said, you are watching the Homeless Empire. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Do what you know. Do what you feel. As long as you learn something. As long as you learn something, I'm satisfied. But just know that these are things that you must apply to your life. This is knowledge that you must apply to your life so that we can turn our weaknesses into strengths. I don't get satisfaction over seeing another person's pain, man. I don't get jealous when I see people have a lot of money. I call that a blessing, man, because when I see people with new cars and all of that, it don't even give me a jealous feeling. I mean, I'm like, and when I think about that, I say, man, in today's society, that's a quality. That's a strong quality to have, man. A person who don't get jealous when they see other people with stuff, that's a strong quality to have. But with that being said, man, you are watching the Homeless Empire, and I am your host, the Lyrical Genius, Black Titanium. Until the next time, I want to thank you for watching the video. Thank you for your time. You don't have to go anywhere, but you have to get up out of here, because I'm about to do the same thing. Peace. Stay strong.